Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. I am Friscillia Pujianti Putri. Here, I will present material about English language learning and acquisition approach to language teaching. Enjoy watching! The approach to language learning can be said to be a set of activities that are interrelated and relate to the nature of language and language teaching. Various approaches that have long been applied in language learning include the objective approach and the structural approach. In English language learning and acquisition approach to language teaching, there are three parts. The first is grammar translation. This method is the oldest method in the world of foreign language learning. The method emphasizes grammar. In addition to grammar, there are also translation or language transfers that are used to teach vocabulary. The teacher will teach material about grammar using formulas. Then, use translation when teaching reading, writing, and vocabulary in English. Grammar translation implicitly assumes that conscious control of grammar is necessary for mastery. In other words, learning needs to precede acquisition. This assumption necessitates that all target structure be introduced and explained. There is, therefore, no limitation of the set of rules to be learned to those that are learnable, portable, and not yet acquired. There is no attempt to account for individual variation in monitor use, nor is there any attempt to specify when rules are to be used. The implicit assumption being that all students will be able to use all the rules all the time. The second is audiolingualism. Audiolingual method is one of the methods of foreign language teaching that emphasizes understanding, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. That this method is based on a behavior theory. That is the theory of behavior change that come from experience. This method is also a teaching style used in teaching foreign language, which recognizes the certain traits or characteristics of living things can be trained through a reinforcement system that emphasizes the teaching of listening and speaking before reading and writing. The form of teaching and learning activities of this method is basically an conversation and exercise, or drills, and patterns of practice or pattern practice. So it can be concluded that this method is repetition and memorization is the dominant activity in this method. The third is cognitive code. Cognitive code shares some similarities with grammatical translation, but also different in several ways. While the purpose of grammar translation is basically to help students read literature in the target language, cognitive code tries to assist students in all four skills: speaking and listening, in addition to reading and writing. As in grammar translation, the lesson began with an explanation of the role in foreign language situation in the student first language. Exercise follow, and these are meant to help the student practice the role conceptually. In other words, monitors use is actively promoted by activities labeled communicative competence. This term has been used in the literature in several ways. In cognitive code, literature appears to be synonymous with fluency. These activities provide the practice in meaningful situations referred to in the quote from Carol above. It includes dialogue, games, role-playing activities. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.